Welcome everybody to the Meet Damien channel. I am Damien, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin mining stocks. We'll go over first off, we'll go over the news for each individual stock. Then we'll do some chart analysis, see how that's affecting the stocks, uh, and then we'll do like we'll go into like my overall thoughts about the direction for the Bitcoin markets and crypto markets. And then towards the end of the video, if I have some subscribers with with questions, then we'll do a Q&A at the end of the video. But yeah, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about one of my favorite Bitcoin mining stocks that you can buy on the stock market here, and that's going to be Cleanspark. Let's take a look at the news for Cleanspark here real quick. So let me just put that in here to Google, and you guys will see Cleanspark had what they call an ATM at the market offering agreement that they went into back in March 28th of 2024. And that offering, they had an offering that was an agreement to issue up to $800 million of common stock. That was an increase from what they initially was going to do, an initial $500 million offering. The amended agreement does not require Cleanspark to actually sell those shares or the agent to purchase any unless they agree to it. But that's the overall news that's kind of hanging on Cleanspark. At any time, they could just go to the bank and ask for more money by basically issuing more stock, which would then dilute the shares that are already out there for Cleanspark. And you'll see like a little bit further down here, the ATM offering was intended to help Cleanspark raise additional capital and strengthen its position in the mining industry. However, the increase in the offering size raised concerns about share dilution, okay, which could result in a 19% dilution rate. Okay. So that's hanging on Cleanspark. Okay. Cleanspark, they're one of the best Bitcoin miners out there. But because they can always go to the bank and ask for more money, that is kind of suppressing the stock price. And you'll be able to see that when I pull up the charts here on TradingView, what that has done for Cleanspark. Now, keep in mind, that was back in March, early March of 2024. I don't believe they have issued any stock or shares since they did that. It's just something that they keep in their back pocket. It's kind of like a line of credit, like getting a home equity line of credit or a business line of credit. You don't actually owe money until you actually use it. Okay. So it's always there, but it's just hanging on it's just always in the back mind of the investors that are out there. But yeah, so right now I have the price of Bitcoin showing right here. Bitcoin's currently trading at $58,400. You'll see that's been trading sideways and downward ever since March of 2024. We saw Bitcoin get as high as like $73,000, almost $74,000. But now Bitcoin is trading at $58,000. It's actually climbing up right now, 58,500. So that I wanted to show Bitcoin first, so you guys have an idea as to like what is the price of Bitcoin might be and how that's going to affect the miners here. Okay, because the Bitcoin miners like Cleanspark, they are going to be affected by the price of Bitcoin because they sell Bitcoin in order to create revenue for their companies. Okay, that hence the reason why they're called Bitcoin miners. So this is the Cleanspark chart. price chart right now. Cleanspark is currently trading at $9.05 here on the NASDAQ. We're pulling the data off of NASDAQ right now. This is the daily chart for Cleanspark. You can see that Cleanspark basically had, some pretty good days back in like February, March, when we saw Cleanspark trading at like $23.45. Also, here in March, March 27th, looks like it got as high as about $24.72. But ever since Bitcoin been trading sideways and downwards, you'll see that Cleanspark also been doing trading sideways and downwards. And looks like it took a significant. It looks like Cleanspark was defending the $14 level, $14.20 level, up until Friday, August 2nd. Which I believe was around the same time that the Japan carry trade was affecting the markets, and it sent not only Cleanspark, but it sent the rest of the markets, including Bitcoin, crypto, the stock markets. I think even the commodities, oil and gold, they all dropped down. That was a bad. I remember that Friday, August 2nd, being a bad day for just about everything, because it was almost like a liquidity crisis, because the Bank of Japan was deciding that they're going to increase interest rates, which sent a lot of people in panic, because they could no longer get cheap money to buy stocks or whatever else they were going to buy. So that sent Cleanspark down, along with the rest of the markets. It went down like 10% on Friday, August 2nd. And then it opened up again the following Monday, August 5th. It opened at like $10.09. And it was able to trade higher up into the $12 area. Okay. And then it closed out at like $12.19. And then you can see that, Cleanspark has been getting a few more red candles. It made a local high here. Looks like around August 26th, we have Cleanspark trading as high as $12.75. But you can see, looking at this red line here, very important line, that 200-day moving average, ever since the August 2nd, when the news about the Japan carry trade came out, and it sent the markets down into a tailspin and crashing, Cleanspark has not been able to get above its 200-day moving average. And you'll also see that with the rest of the mining stocks that we'll be covering in this video. They're almost all of them are below their 200-day moving average and their 50-day and 100-day moving average. You'll see that I have the red line here as the 200-day moving average. I have the green line as the 50-day moving average, and the blue line is the 100-day moving average. And yes, this stock is trading below all those averages, which indicates that we are pretty much in a bear market for Cleanspark. Okay. Yeah, because Cleanspark was trading as high earlier this year as $22, $24. For the most part, through the majority of the year, it looked like it was trading at $16. So for it to be at like $9, that's like pretty much a 33% decline, and anything below 20% in stock market world is considered a bear market. So yeah, Cleanspark is definitely in a bear market. Now, where could we get some support for Cleanspark? I mean, how low could they possibly go? I mean, right now the $9 level was a level that it was trading at back in like December of 2023. So that's probably why it's kind of hanging out in this area. It could go lower to like the $6.20 area, because I see some lows over there. I see a low in like January of 2024 when it got as low as $6.41, and then I see another low here in like December, where it got down as low as like $5.73. So, but $6 level could be where Cleanspark could see some buyers step in, seeking value in the stock. I don't think Cleanspark will actually get any lower than $6. But if it does, I mean, we could see it trade down to $3.50. which it was trading back in like October of 2023. So that's the bearish case for Cleanspark. Those are the price targets for the bears if you are bearish on the Bitcoin mining stock and Cleanspark in particular. Those would be the bearish price targets there. If Cleanspark could get its act together and start going up in price again, we might start to see some resistance at the $11, $12 range here before Cleanspark could see some more resistance. If you can get above to the 200-day moving average, I mean, Cleanspark should be trading at about like $14. So if it does get its act together and start going higher, I could see some resistance at like $14 before Cleanspark starts to go even higher than that. And if it does, then it would probably go back to where it was trading at earlier this year when it was like trading at $16 for the majority of 2024. So that's my my take on Cleanspark there. We'll move on to Marathon Digital Holdings, which is another big cryptocurrency that's out there. Marathon Digital is currently trading at $15.25 right now. This data is coming off of the NASDAQ. And you'll see that Marathon Digital is also has a similar looking chart to Cleanspark, where it made its highs, its euphoric highs in towards the end of February here, when it got as high as like $34.09. And it wasn't able to get back up there again. And it's been trading for the majority of 2024 at like the $19, $20 range. It did make a lower high here on Wednesday. Wednesday, July 17th, where it got as high as to $27.30, but not as high as what it did back in February when it was at like $30. Okay. So that indicated a lower high. And I believe that was the news that Donald Trump was going to be considered a pro-crypto president. And that sent the price of Bitcoin up, I believe, to like $70,000. And that also sent the price of the stock of Marathon Digital up to like $27. But Marathon Digital hasn't been able to go back up to those highs again. And it's been trading down with the price of Bitcoin, in sympathy with the price of Bitcoin. And you'll see that, like I said, with Cleanspark, that Marathon Digital is also below the 200-day, 50-day, and the 100-day moving average, indicating that we are pretty much in a bear market. Because, with Marathon Digital trading at $15.19 and, it being as high as like, $30, $32, $34 in February of this year, that's a 50% haircut. And that is more than 20%. That, anything in stock market world, if you have a stock that's trading below its highs that it made and it's down 20% or more, that's considered a bear market. I mean, those highs, they were kind of temporary. For the most part, Marathon has been trading at about like $20 for the majority of the 2024 year of 2024. So for it to be, at $15, that's roughly 25% haircut from like the $20 area. So yeah, that's a bear market if I was ever to see one. So these Bitcoin mining stocks, they're not doing so well. These are pretty much the lows for the year 2024, with today being September 4th, 2024. We're back to the lows of the year. How low could Marathon Digital go if it decides to go any lower? I'm just zooming out right here, but we might see some support here at the $9.20, $9.50 area, where it traded the majority of the summer of 2023. And it also has some sideways price trading action here in November of 2023. If it goes any lower than that, I do have this red support line that I drew on the chart here at the $5.25 area. If Marathon Digital basically crashes, it might get support at the $5.25 area, because that is a area that it traded at in years prior, going back to like even 2021. We had some sideways trading price action at the $5.25 area. You can see that, after Marathon Digital had a really great year in 2021, when it got up to like almost like $70, it ended up crashing down to like over here in like July of 2022. It got down to like the $5 area. And that's why I made that red support line, is because the $5.25 area seems to be a significant area where if Marathon Digital did decide to go to lower prices, that might be the area that bulls will start to defend the price of Marathon. So that's a pretty important number to have in the back of your head. If you're a bear, if you're bearish on the stock, I would take profits at $5 for sure, because Marathon Digital hasn't gone below $5 in a long time, and when it did, it came right back up. Like it went down below $5.25 in like December of 22 during like the worst of the bear market of 2022. Those were the lows, and it got down into like the $3 area. But then, in January of 2023, when it seemed like the worst was over for the bear market, Marathon Digital did get up above the $5 area. It wasn't there for that long, maybe about a month before it shot back up again to higher prices. So yeah, that's a pretty significant line. I looked at this chart earlier and I decided to draw that as the line in the sand. That is where we can get some support for Marathon Digital. But yeah, the bullish case for Marathon Digital is if it does get to higher prices, then we could see it try to recapture the 50 and 100-day and 200-day moving averages, which are currently around like $19, is where we might get some resistance as it tries to bump its head up against the moving averages. And also around like, it seems like $20 was also where it was normally trading at for the majority of the year, and that will probably be where some people who want to break even on their losses with Marathon Digital, they might decide that they want to just get out at the $20 area. So that might be another area of resistance before we start going to higher prices again on Marathon Digital. So yeah, that's Marathon Digital. And I see we have Darren in the chat here saying hi. Hello, Darren. Glad to see that you made it here. If you have any questions, I'll be answering those questions towards the end of this video here. But we're gonna move on to another cryptocurrency. I'm sorry, another Bitcoin miner here, and that would be HUT8. Okay, we'll see how HUT8 mining has been doing. HUT8. Let's see. Trading on the NASDAQ. HUT8 is currently trading at $9.16 here on the NASDAQ. And let's see. HUT8 has a chart. Very interesting chart. Okay. It doesn't look, it's not as similar as Cleanspark and Marathon. It did get, it did show that it was at higher prices in July of this year. That's interesting because most of the Bitcoin miners, they were making their highs back in March of this year. So HUT8 is kind of like doing its own thing. I would have to look at the news to see like why it decided to go up in July, other than Donald Trump saying that he's pro Bitcoin, pro crypto, because that was a significant event that happened back in July. So if it's just that, then it's just that. But if there's other news out there, and somebody wants to leave a comment as to why it might have gone up that high in July, besides Donald Trump and crypto, please leave your comments. Let me know why else it would have gone up there. I mean, we could take a look at the news, but we're already on the chart right now, and I just want to keep it. I don't want to bounce around. But we'll look at we'll probably see if there was any news recently for HUT 8, but I'm just going to do the chart analysis right now. So HUT 8 was trading at around like $19. It looks like got as high as $21 on July 16th. And then it's just been red candle, red candle, red candle, red candle, red candle, and it wasn't able to get back up there. We're declining in value along with the other Bitcoin miners. It's been a rough August for most of these Bitcoin miners here. And as you can see, looking at the red, blue, and green lines, the moving averages here, HUT 8 is also below the 200, 100, and 50-day moving average. 200-day moving average at $10.60, and HUT 8 is trading at $9.16. I do see some support, and I did another red support line here where I noticed that HUT 8 was getting support and defending the $6.30 range, which is that red line here, the support line. And you can see, just looking back at history, that was a very significant area where we had some inflection points where HUT 8 didn't want to go below $6.30. It pretty much, once it touched it, it went back up again. You can see like kind of like a V shape right here, and then another V shape recovery right here. There was a time where it did go below $6.30, but that was once again in the rough part of the bear market of 2022. And we were only there for about a month before we started going back up to higher prices, and people got more excited and poured more money into these Bitcoin mining stocks. Okay, those were the lows for this stock. All right. So if HUT 8 mining cannot actually defend the price that it's at right now, which is $9. If it can't stay above $9, then I do see HUT 8 trying to get support at the $6.30 area range. That would be the last line of defense before, if it goes below that, the company's probably going to go bankrupt. That would be the reason why it would go below that $6.30. But I think these are the lows that are being made for 2024. I don't know if you guys can actually get lower prices on these Bitcoin mining stocks unless Bitcoin decides to go lower in price than what it is right now, which is always a possibility. But I think if you were interested in Bitcoin mining or you want to get exposure to Bitcoin mining stocks, these are not bad prices to get in at, because, like I said, HUT 8 was trading at like $20 back in July, like 2 months ago. It has been trading the majority of the year at like $10. So, you're getting it $1 cheaper than what it's been doing for like the majority of the year. But when this thing does shoot up, you could possibly double your money from where it is right now when it does shoot up. And that'd be nice, right? 100% gain if you could. It's like kind of like rolling the dice, but we'll take a look at the news. Why HUT 8 might have gone up to like $20 in July. I just want to take a look at the news real quick here. See if anything significant happened. So I'm going to share this right here. Well, we have a news article that recently came out here talking about how HUT 8, Seeking Alpha, is saying that HUT 8 is massively undervalued AI play, artificial intelligence play. And that's the thing about these Bitcoin mining stocks, is that some of these Bitcoin mining companies are actually deciding to actually take some of their processing power that they got for Bitcoin and just move it on to artificial intelligence, because the revenues that they get for Bitcoin mining is very volatile, up and down, up and down. But the revenues that they could get for artificial intelligence could be more stable and it gives them something to plan around for their revenues, and they can not have to be issuing stock or going into debt every time the price of Bitcoin goes down in price. So that's a good bit of news right there. That Hut 8 might actually be considered an undervalued AI play. But we were looking for news that would have came out in July. It looks like we have an article here on July 10th. It says that Hut 8 secured land and power for a 205 megawatt data center in West Texas. So that's probably what sent the stock up in price in July. We were, trading at about like $9 or $10 in like June. And then I believe after that news about the data mining stock increase when they purchased that facility, that probably helped propel the stock up to like $20. So that seems to be the reason why Hut 8 might have went up to the $20 area. That plus the Donald Trump news, Donald Trump being a pro-crypto president or possible president, presidential nominee. That plus that equals Hut 8 going up to like $20 in July. Okay, so we will we will just move on to another Bitcoin mining stock, knowing that news. But I also see that Marissa just said hello to me here. Let me just write it right back. All right. And yeah. So the next cryptocurrency stock I wanted to take a look at. Let's see, we went over Hut 8, Cleanspark, Marathon. Oh, RIOT. Okay. RIOT's another big cryptocurrency stock that's out there. Let's see what RIOT has in the news for the recent months here. Yes. So RIOT has been trying to do pretty much like a hostile takeover on Bitfarms. They've been trying to buy their Bitfarms is another crypto Bitcoin mining company out there, and RIOT is just bigger than them. They have more money, and they're trying to buy shares of Bitfarms and take over the stock. I believe last time I read it, they had like almost like 9 or 10% of the total shares of Bitfarms, which means they are the largest shareholder of Bitfarms, which allows them to do things like hold meetings to try to get a new director on board. From what I've read in the news, they try to offer a buyout of the company. RIOT tried to buy Bitfarms. They went to the board of directors of Bitfarms, and the board of directors of Bitfarms said no thanks, but no thanks. And then RIOT decided to then try to buy more shares of the company as like a hostile takeover. And the best way to describe this to someone who doesn't know about hostile takeovers and what's going on between RIOT and Bitfarms is that it's almost like trying to date a girl. For you guys out there, and you try to ask a girl on a date and she says no, and you don't take no for an answer, and you just keep on asking her out to be your girlfriend, and she continues saying no. And that's pretty much what's going on between RIOT and Bitfarms. Is Bitfarms is saying no to RIOT, and RIOT's like, okay, well, we'll go ask the shareholders to see if they think otherwise. So basically the shareholders of Bitfarms are like kind of like the mom or the dad of, of Bitfarms, and RIOT's trying to get permission to date Bitfarms, or in this case RIOT's trying to get permission to actually buy Bitfarms, the company of Bitfarms, so that way they can increase their capacity and mine some more Bitcoin. That's pretty much what's going on with RIOT. in a nutshell. That's pretty much been the news all throughout this year of 2024 is Riot has been trying to buy out Bitfarms. You see there's just more news articles here. This one's saying here that Riot issues an open letter to fellow Bitfarm shareholders ahead of the upcoming special meeting. And that special meeting is to get another director, an independent director on the board of directors for Bitfarms, and hopefully influence that person to consider the buyout offer that Riot is offering. But let's go ahead and take a look at the stock of Riot and see what that has done for the company. Go ahead and get into the charts here for Riot. And you'll see that Riot is currently trading at $7 here on the NASDAQ. And we've seen Riot get, to a high for the year of like $20 back in like July of 2023, actually. So that's not 2024. Let me zoom in there. We'll get some more recent data here. So yeah, here in February of 2024, we've seen Riot get as high as $18. Okay. Only for it to then go down to lower prices here, and it got to a low of like $7.94 on Wednesday, April 17th of 2024. So for Riot to then now be trading at $7 and below that, it's just making a lower low. And there's really nowhere else for Riot to go. If Riot's going to continue going down, there's really no area of support until we get to like the low $6 area. But you'll see that I actually put a blue line here. I could make it red just like the other ones, but this is another support line, this blue line here of $5.30, which I looked at the charts earlier and I saw that that was an area that the bulls defended. Those were some inflection points in the days prior, back in like 2023. We saw that Riot bulls and investors were able to defend the $5.30 area. So, and you'll see that, when Riot did get below $5.30, it didn't stay there for long before it got back up again. It only got down below $5.30 in like November of 2022 and December of 2022 to then go back up in like January 2023 and never see $5.30 again. So $5.30 would probably be like one of the cheapest prices you could get Riot if it does decide to go down to that price. If I was a bear, I would be targeting the $5.30 area and taking profit there, because anything more than that is just being greedy. And I believe that Riot investors would see that as an area of value, and they would try to defend that and try to buy as much as Riot stock as they possibly can at $5.30, unless the company was going bankrupt or something bad happens. A data center goes up in fire or something, catches on fire or something. And then, yeah, that could destroy their revenues and send the stock down below $5.30. But anything below $5.30, I mean, unless the company's going bankrupt, I don't see it going below $5.30, especially if Bitcoin goes to higher prices from where we are right now. You'll never see $5.30. But I put it there just in case it does decide to go down there. That would be where bears should be taking profit, and that should be where bulls should be trying to establish a position if they're not in Riot stock already, or building up their position if they do see the $5, $6 prices for Riot stock. Because if you are a long-term bull and you're taking a bullish long-term view on Riot, then this is probably the lowest prices you're going to get for the stock, especially if they do acquire Bitfarms. They'll have more mining capacity and be able to mine more Bitcoin. The stock should benefit from that and start going back up to higher prices. And the bullish case for Riot would be that, Riot should be able to get back up to like the $9.50 area, where it might see some resistance because it traded at that area for most of 2024. And then we could see Riot go to higher prices from there, like $12 or possibly like $18, like it did back in like February of 2024. So yeah, I was gonna open this video up for any questions that you guys have about these stocks. If anybody has questions, now is the time. We're going to start the Q&A. If not, then I will go ahead and end this video here. I appreciate you guys clicking the like button and showing some support here. If you think this was some useful information about the Bitcoin mining stocks, or you just enjoy listening to my voice for whatever reason, go ahead and click that like button. Show some love. If you're new to the community, go ahead and subscribe. Click that subscribe button so that way you guys can see some more videos like this. We like to talk about Bitcoin and crypto on the Meet Damien channel. We also like to talk about stocks and business. So you'll see me talking about stocks every now and then. But I feel very excited about crypto, and you'll see most of my videos are talking about crypto and Bitcoin because I believe Bitcoin is the best asset to be in. Because if you were to chart Bitcoin against most other assets out there, you'll see that the price of Bitcoin beats everything. Okay, like I'll just show you real quick, like the price of Bitcoin to gold. Okay, see if I could do Bitcoin to XAU. Is it X? Or maybe it might be XUA. Let me see. If I just did like price of Bitcoin to gold, okay, or price of Bitcoin to like the Nasdaq, okay, you'll see that Bitcoin just the price of those coin the price of those the stock market and gold just goes continually down to the price of Bitcoin. So that's why we like talking about Bitcoin, because it is the best asset to be in. I feel like everybody should have a piece of Bitcoin. They should have a little bit of Bitcoin and whatever it is that they're invested in, because like I said, you know, the price of gold to Bitcoin, right? Just over time, it's just down and to the right, okay? Because Bitcoin appreciates in value more so than any other asset out there, okay? You know, if I did, let's see, SPY to Bitcoin, is that even a chart that's available? Nah, no. Yeah, I mean, I would have to pull out the charts, but you'll notice that like Bitcoin appreciates in value more so than any other asset out there, guys. And that is why I choose Bitcoin, choose to be invested in Bitcoin, because it's going to make you the most amount of money if you stick with it for at least 3 to 4 years or more. Bitcoin's been around for like, I believe, 15 years now. And it has gone from $0 to trading at $58,000 right now. Significant performance and gains, and that is why I like talking about Bitcoin and crypto on the Meet Damien channel. But we do talk about other things here, like stocks, gold. We'll talk about commodities like oil. Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming out to this channel and checking out the mining stocks here with me. And yeah, I look forward to doing another video like this soon here, guys. Okay. Go look out there with your investments and trading, whatever you guys decide to do out there. And I'll see you guys again on the Meet Damien channel here.